Six Nations Team of the Week for round number 4, folks. One of the greatest rugby weekends, I think, that I've seen in quite a while. Wales put in a good show against the Irish in what was a real arm wrestle battle, despite the fact it was predicted to be a blowout. First ever Italian win over England. And the Scots keep the Six Nations alive in a 90-point game with the French. Plus, in Super Rugby, my Blues beat the Crusaders. So happy days. What a rugby weekend. Let's go through 15 of the best players at the weekend. We'll highlight some of their key stats. You guys can let us know your thoughts on who you would be picking for your standout players. Then I'm going to have a nap because I've been up all day and all morning because time difference was painful. But what was not painful was this guy. I'm putting him first on the board. He's my star of the week. Rhys Carey. Welsh loose head prop. Losing effort, but goodness me, scored one of the greatest prop tries ever. Has to go down for potential try of the year. I know we're only in March, but goodness me, what a try. The big fend on Ballacoon and then just decides, bugger it, I'm going to put the hammer down and go, and boy did he go. Even Irish fans, I think, were cheering on that try. Such was the thing of beauty that it was. One of the most beautiful things I've seen on a rugby pitch, and I've watched a lot of rugby. Great try, Rhys Carey. He scored 3 tries now in the Six Nations, but that was by far his best. His other couple were just burrowing over from close range. What a try. But he's not just got that. He's got 14 attempted tackles, makes 12, including a dominant tackle. The clean break is his try, plus 3 defenders beaten, 38 metres, doesn't concede any penalties, doesn't cough up any turnovers, does the core roll well, plus a hell of a bit of icing on the cake with that try. Rhys Carey is looking like an inspired selection return to Welsh rugby. I know with him kind of being with Saracens, he was in and out of the squad for a while with the eligibility and whatnot, but great to see him fit and firing and scoring tries. Next, genuinely one of the best players in the world, Italian midfielder Tommaso Menoncello. Goodness me, he is outstanding. The fact that he's only 23 is very encouraging for Italian rugby as well because he's so good at such a young age. I don't know that Italy win without him because he's just such a good player. Finishes the game with the try, finds a gap between a couple of English forwards, again puts the hammer down, goes around Elliot Daly. He's a lot younger than Elliot Daly, so he did that really well. Also has a try assist for the Marine try. After Ioane pops on the ball, he beats Daly again, gave Daly nightmares about Tommaso Menoncello. 3 clean breaks, beats 5 defenders, 9 carries, 89 metres. Cracking offensive stats for Menoncello, 5 passes. He does have 7 from 9 tackles. I'm wondering if they registered the Roebuck try as a missed tackle because he came across last second and tried to get a hand on him, couldn't quite get it. If so, that's maybe not that fair, but I'm not sure. It might have been a different one. He does have a couple of turnovers conceded. He does have no penalties conceded, so great player. Couple of dominant tackles in there as well. So very, very physical, great at busting tackles. He's got a turn of speed. Really great player to watch. Really great player to watch. A Scotsman from their big victory. He got player of the match. So did Menoncello, to be fair. But Kyle Steyn, Mr. Consistent for Scotland for a number of years, has sometimes had to play second fiddle to Darcy Graham and Duan van der Merwe, but he's got himself a couple of starts, and geez, he looks just so good. That try that he scored from that line-out play, I think he went past Marchand, Dupont couldn't stop him. Hell of a try from the Scots to back him to have the pace, and then the intercept. The intercept on the Dupont pass, put the hammer down, couldn't be caught by Moefana. 2 great tries for the Scots. He finishes with 9 carries, 110 metres, 3 clean breaks and 5 defenders beaten. Very, very cracking attacking stats from Kyle Steyn. 5 from 6 tackles as well, including a couple of dominant ones. Couple of passes and offload. Doesn't concede turnovers. Doesn't concede penalties. He's been very good for another week for Scotland. And I hope his injury's not too serious because he got injured tackling Dupont for that Dupont try as the French were making a bit of a comeback. But yeah, very good player. Next, from the Ireland and Wales game, again, I've got one of the Irish guys and Jack Conan returning to the starting squad. Really, really busy in all aspects of the game, which is what I love about Jack Conan because he is genuinely multi-talented. Some guys are very strong in one area, great defensive players, really attacking-minded players, but Conan does a bit of everything. He gets a try, burrows over from close range. Could have had a second, but for the TMO ruling it out for a knock-on in the build-up to it. 15 carries, 47 metres. He gets go forward, busts a couple of tackles, and he's one of the top tacklers for Ireland with 13 from 30. Not the top tackler, but he's up there, wins a turnover, doesn't concede penalties, wins line out, passes. There's 7 passes, 4 offloads. Like, what a nuts ratio that is. Does have 1 turnover conceded, but goodness me, player of the match as well, and I think pretty rightly so. Jack Conan, really, really valuable player for Ireland to have, whether he's on the bench or whether he's starting, but he was starting this week, and he looked really good. Then back to the Scotland game. Another Scottish winger, Darcy Graham, and there were a lot of good wingers this week, but Darcy Graham, 9 defenders beaten. I don't know how many was for the second try, maybe 2, maybe 3. He's such an elusive runner. Very, very hard man to bring down, and good awareness. Like for the first try, it's just bouncing ball. Finn Russell can't quite get a hand on it properly. It's bouncing ball. It gives guys that moment of hesitation. Just goes for it, and it pays off for him. So 2 tries for Darcy. 9 defenders beaten is among the top this week. I think he must be top or top equal. 10 carries, 45 metres, 3 clean breaks. Does have 4 turnovers conceded, which is genuinely a bit too high. But there was a bit of aerial ball going on and whatnot. 2 passes and offload. 4 out of 7 tackles, including a dominant one. But yeah, very, very good attacking stats for Darcy, who is once again the top all-time Scottish try scorer, surpassing Duhan, who wasn't playing in that game. Back to the Italian game with their first ever win over England. Paolo Garbisi, you felt like pulled the strings pretty well and kicked his goals. Italy, for quite some time under Quesada, have been a team happy to go for the posts, and he kicked his goals. There was one that went in off the post, but he kicked them, which is a key factor if you're going to get that first win. 13 points for him, 2 conversions, 3 penalties. He didn't carry that much, like a couple of carries for 3 metres, but he distributed, which is his job, largely as a 10, 13 passes, 9 kicks, including that audacious, basically straight sideways kick to Monty Ioane when they were chasing the game, which leads up to the Pani try. Pani try? The Marine try. Pani didn't score a try. I've been up since 3 in the morning. It's now 4 in the afternoon. But yeah, I didn't think that was the right move at the time, but geez, did it pay off. Ioane did so well, Menoncello, and then to Marin. Great try. I couldn't believe that was the decision, but geez, he was proved absolutely right to back that move. And 6 from 6 tackles, including Chesham. Chesham's got the line break as England are chasing the game at the death. Polo, who's a lot smaller than Ollie Chesham, steps up, makes that tackle. It's only a couple of phases later where Italy win the penalty, which essentially wins them the game. So a massive defensive shift in that regard. A couple of turnovers conceded, but didn't concede any penalties. Yeah, cracking stuff from Paolo Garbisi. Now I've got more of a defensive shift. Ronan Kelleher for Ireland. Their line-out once again operated really well. 100% line-out. Ronan Kelleher is a big part of that when he's getting the start this week. And 17 from 17 tackles. Defensive shift. He's the top equal Irish tackler in that game. Plus, he wins the turnover. So what else do you want? Perfect line out, perfect tackle rate, top tackler. Unbelievable shift from him. Plus, he had 9 carries for 30 metres, which were a front rower. Are always pretty good numbers. He's shoving Conan as Conan gets driven over for a try. So not quite a try assist, but you can kind of give it to him. Doesn't concede any penalties. 3 passes and offload. Does have 1 turnover conceded, but obviously a pretty good outing for him. Ben White at number 9 scored a pretty important try as well. Heads up snipe play to get Scotland one of how many points? 50. Yeah, a really important play for him. And he kicked well. How many kicks was it? 12 kicks from him. And if you're going to kick against this French side, you can't just kick deep and let these guys, Ramos and Atisogbe and Louis Bielbiere, run it back at you. Kick contestable, which Scotland managed the game really well with. He only has the 2 carries in the entire game for his 10 metres, clean break and a try, plus a defender beaten, but 93 passes, 12 kicks, makes 4 from 4 tackles, including one on Dupont when Dupont passes the intercept one to Stain. You feel like it's the tackle that partly makes the pass so floaty. He kind of dislodges the ball a little bit as he makes the pass, so it's a great hit from Ben White there. Doesn't concede any turnovers, which is great for a 9 who's passed the ball 93 times. Doesn't concede any penalties. Big contribution from him. Back more defensively, Lorenzo Canone at number 8. Number 8 was definitely very competitive this week. But what a massive defensive outing from him. 12 from 13 tackles is not quite the top tacklers of this week. Those guys are all Welsh, but he's still right up there for the Italian game, including a couple of dominant ones, and he wins a turnover. So not what I used to associate his game with, but he's been really good like that all Six Nations. What I did associate his game with was the big ball carry. 11 carries, 61 meters, 6 defenders beaten. Goodness me, it's not many number 8s these days that outdo Ben Earl with the offensive stats, because Ben Earl loves a carry, but Lorenzo did it this week. I think he did cough up from that scrum move the ball, which eventually led to an English try on the counter. So he does have that kind of on his turnovers conceded, but ultimately very, very positive outing from Lorenzo Canone. Another Welshman, which speaks to how well they did in that game against Ireland, James Botham. Not the top tackler, despite the fact that he had 26 out of 28. It was Mann who made 30-odd on the blind side, but on the open side, 26 out of 28 is a heck of a defensive effort. Among the top this week, including a dominant one, including a turnover. That's the number one reason this guy is in the squad. Like, the carrying game is 6 carries, 6 meters, and a defender beaten, but it includes a try. Very similar to the Conan one, close range, burrow over. Important for that Welsh effort. 3 passes, does have 1 penalty and 1 turnover conceded, but very, very big defensive outing, plus icing on the cake with a try. And then Tyke Byrne in your locks. Defensive outing again. It's what you get with Tyke Byrne. 14 tackles attempted, 14 tackles made. Turnover 1 at a key point when Wales are looking to push back. 3 line-out wins, 8 passes, so likes getting his hand on the pill. 11 carries, so very busy in that regard as well. Only the 1 penalty conceded. Tyke Byrne, defensive masterclass, kind of as usual. For him, that's probably, not his most outstanding win. Some games he gets like 3-4 turnovers, but just quietly going through his work as a defensive powerhouse. Tight head prop, I went with Xander Fagerson from the Scotland game. Comes on from the bench, but still plays more than half the game because they bring him on before the end of the first half. Doesn't concede any penalties, which is cracking because the Scottish scrum has been under a bit of pressure this Six Nations. 8 from 9 tackles, defensively solid. Got a pass, 8 carries, 7 meters, beats a defender, goes about his work really well. Nicola Canone from Italy, the other lock, along with his brother, big defensive shift from him as well. 10 from 12 tackles, including a dominant hit. He wins a line-out, 3 passes, and busy on the carry as well with 9. Plus, he beats a defender. I think he did miss 1 towards the end, but it kind of worked out well because I think he missed Freeman, and then Freeman ended up getting turned over from his kind of getting himself a little bit isolated. So it's kind of one that worked out despite the fact that wouldn't have been the plan. Did concede a couple of penalties, but he is again part of that Italian pack which got them the win. One of the French guys have been a bit harsh. They scored 40 points. I haven't gotten him on the board yet, but Thomas Ramos, he did have that one muck up early where the sun was in his eyes and he dropped the kick cold, but everything else does go pretty decently well for him. He scores 2 tries, including the bonus point one, which might be very crucial for France next week. It's kept them, joint top on points, and their points difference is looking good. So bonus point try from him. I think he called for it as well. He hits the line well on the blind side, calls for it, and Saram picks him. He goes through past Ashman, so it's a great try from him, plus a bit of a run-in one, easier one for his second. But yeah, 11 carries, 62 meters, 2 clean breaks, 4 defenders beaten, and 5 kicks. So, yep, offensive numbers as usual. Plus, he kicks his goals. It was like 5 conversions. Didn't get them all, but he got the majority of them. 11 passes, links up so well with the likes of BLBRA before BLBRA kicks it through for Atisogbe for a try. 3 from 4 tackles. I think he might have been credited a miss with the Darcy Graham first try from the bounce, but if so, it's maybe a bit of a harsh one. But yeah, he does have the 2 turnovers conceded, which, as I said, probably the one in the sunlight is the worst. But overall, he's still a very good player in that French back 3. And then last one, I think centre was hard, but I went with Hugh Jones from the Scottish game. He went off relatively early, but in his time there, 9 carries, 28 meters, a clean break, and 2 defenders beaten. So we're certainly getting a bit of the good link-up play going forward. 4 from 5 tackles, including a dominant one. Didn't concede any turnovers, didn't concede any penalties. 9 passes, so certainly a link-up man for sure. An offload and a kick. But there you go. Those are the 15 players I picked. I tried to pick them in their positions rather than moving guys around to other sneaky positions to include them. Like otherwise you might include Alex Mann or more of the wingers or something like that because, you know, some of them played very well in the same positions as the guys I've picked. I've gone with some honorable mentions. Dewi Lake at hooker, like most dominant tackles this week with 4. He was really busy on the carry as well. Schoeman is really hard done by, but I could not put Reece Carey. He was my first pick. But Schoeman was immense for Scotland at scrum time and scored a try. Alex Mann, 32 tackles. That is amazing stuff. Joe McCarthy came off the bench for Ireland really well, even putting a bloody kick through. He was good value. Darge made a bunch of tackles. Gigoux, despite the fact that I think he's going to get in hot water for getting the finger around the eyes, was very, very busy, like 25 odd tackles for France and good on the go forward. Guy Pepper, I haven't got any English guys here. Busted like 4 tackles from the loose forwards for England. It was generally pretty busy. Jack Dempsey's been hard done by because him at number 8 was likewise very good, busting tackles and getting run meters. McCloskey in the midfield, he was again like stand out. Like you think he was the top run meters guy for Ireland in that game, had a nice try assist, so cracking stuff. Balakoon had 3 line breaks. He's probably not going to live down the Reece Carey try, but he was still looking sharp. The other wingers, BLBRA, a try and 3 assists. Kinghorn on the fullback, 6 defenders beaten. Adi Sogbe, a couple of tries. Roebuck scored a nice try and had 90 odd meters, competitive in the air. Ioane had his best game of the Six Nations on the left wing for the Italians. The wings were stacked this week. You could pick many of them, but I went with the Scottish pair. We could go on, but I need to go have a nap. So, yes, you guys let me know your thoughts on the 15. If you want gear, help support the channel, get yourself some rugby gear down at the Six Nations store down in the description. Buy us a coffee. I could use a coffee or a beer. That's down in the description too. It's a cracking weekend rugby, folks. Hope you guys are all good. Take care of yourselves. I'm off to have a sleep. See you guys later. Bye-bye.